button. Yes, I'm in the video. It's going to be on the subject of ephilism. So I figured I'll put the response videos if I make any on this channel, and I'll just do ephilis videos or ephilis videos. It sort of comes up because I'm going to respond to this Think Vegan, very lovely girl and blah 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 and such. She makes a good video for 13 minutes or whatever, 16 minutes worth, and then it goes kind of funky at the end, so I'll deal with that. But the beginning was sort of one of those left-handed compliments, it's very intelligent, but Skyzer said that the other day. These people just keep saying this crap, like they, I'm supposed to think they're intelligent, and they can't seem to make a distinction between different videos. Different when you're doing something different. When you're making a video and when you're responding to an individual who has probably been rude or obnoxious or is defending something like Nazism or something. And you're supposed to sit there and say something polite. And you're like, no, I'm not. But I'm just saying that even if you could say I was wrong, which I don't think I don't think there's a good argument that I instigate hostility. But let's just say I did and I was wrong. Clearly, most of my videos are not response videos where I'm being hostile. They're just not. So, you're not showing your intelligence by not being able to make a distinction and say, well, yes, there's plenty of videos where he's just explaining his philosophy. But anyway, doesn't really matter, I guess. It doesn't. So anyway, so she's why I'm not having kids, anti-natalism. So, and it's sort of, it's a little personal, which is okay. I still think that, rationally, the argument has to be made from a perspective where it's not just about what you choose to do. It's about what's being done. So again, it's like saying, me as a male saying something preposterous like, well, I don't personally choose to commit rape. Yeah, that's, that's swell, but you understand that victim is victim. It doesn't matter whether you make the victim or somebody else makes the victim gets created, and that's the problem. And that's where, like, she falls off the rails here at the end, because she just basically says, like a lot of people, if nature commits a crime against something, victimizes it, that's okay. What? That's immune from her interest or necessity to put on any kind of superhero suit and do something about it. And I'm just like, what? How do you get there from here? How do you get from a point where you understand imposition, you understand risk, you understand danger, you understand the nature of victimhood? They didn't ask for it. There's no consent involved. And you're just saying, yes, basically it's like me as a male saying, well, I don't choose to rape, but it's okay if nature does. Why is nature rape okay and me rape not okay? That doesn't make any sense. The victim is just as raped. So, I'll play our video. Play this bit.
Yeah. So, the next question people might ask is, well, do you think that we should kill all animals? Or do you think that we should...
Well, again, see, you don't even get that part quite right? Anti-natalism isn't killing babies. It's not having babies. So you could say something like, well, should we sterilize the natural kingdom, the animal kingdom? Sanitize, whatever word you want to use. But it doesn't necessarily, there's nothing in that statement, that requires you to kill anything, theoretically. yes, it's a lot harder to do it without killing, but it's doable.
Make the earth like so like damaged, but no more life could possibly spawn on it.
Well, you know, damage is another funky word, right? I mean, I guess I could argue that the pus, okay, that is life forms, these parasitical organisms, they're damage. Okay, that's damage. That's an AIDS virus. We're not doing the earth any good. We're just boring holes in a tiny layer of it and eating each other. You know, mammals, organisms, period. They're all parasitical. And so again, you could say damage. Again, it just has a false premise built into it that you're still somehow saying that somehow it's innately true that life is good, when no, it's a parasite. It's damaging. It's certainly damaging its victims. The losers. Which everything becomes.
You know, again, like emotionally, that makes me really sad. I didn't like that idea. But
she makes that kind of argument. Well, emotionally, I don't do it, but I'm smart enough to know my emotions are bullshit. So that's good that she's doing that she's conceding. Look, I have an emotional response that says one thing, but I'm smart enough to know my emotions aren't necessarily the definition of real value. I mean, you can go so much. You can go really far with that kind of statement, just because it's so ingrained in us. You know, the whole attractiveness thing, or this or this. We know these are false standards of value. That they only mean something in this very crude, by a crude standard. And we know that success is often gleaned by a crude standard. Isn't necessarily merit-based. Somebody inherits money, Donald Trump, and pretends, hey, look how great I am. Look what I went from nothing, $200 million. You know, I was not. I went from nothing. Look how I kicked ass. Yeah, right.
And yeah, I actually don't agree with that idea, because I don't feel like we have an obligation to prevent the suffering that would be caused by nature.
Right. So I could just say that I don't have an obligation to prevent the suffering caused by Jim the rapist, or Joe the rapist, or Fred the rapist. Right? I only have to worry about Gary the rapist. Right? I mean, it almost seems silly. You know, it's like you're saying humans only have to worry about what humans do or something, or white people only worry about what white people do. I mean, you get, I mean, it's just such a, you really are off logical rails here. You know, you just didn't think this one through. Yeah. Which is sort of obvious in the video, right? Because you're just sitting there saying, well, this is the first time I asked myself this question. You do have kind of a, you know, virgin going, what? What are you going to do with that? You know, you do have that kind of, you know.
I feel like we have an obligation to prevent our actions knowingly.
Right, so what I have to be responsible for what other humans do, but I don't have to take responsibility for what, like, say, chimpanzees do, or gorillas do, or any other organism on Earth. Mammals do. So I can't consider myself, I have to consider myself a humanoid. I can't consider myself, maybe a white humanoid, and I'm not allowed to consider myself a mammal and take responsibility for the behavior of all mammals, let's say. Or even broaden it one step further and say, I'm a sentient life form, a feeling life form, and maybe I should take responsibility for all sentient life forms. But again, the bottom line is, if there's an AIDS virus walking across my desk and I have a gun in my hand, I'm going to shoot the fucker. I mean, you know, there's no doubt about what the problem is. And it's just stupid to sit here. Well, I think it is less than intelligent to not recognize that the rape is happening, and because it's not you personally doing it, don't mean it ain't happening. The baby, I mean, see, what made this even worse is supposed to link to, okay, Emendum, beautiful 6-minute video on antinatalism. Well, it's really about ephilism, but anyway, the video really was about ephilism. It really was about the nature of life being shit. And it has all these horrible images in it. Just horrible. I mean, a baby elephant getting eaten alive. And she's saying, that isn't my problem. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Suffering is the enemy. Doesn't matter what brain it is in. It's the enemy.
Causing harm to others or causing unnecessary suffering to others. So, I know.
So, nature can do anything it wishes because it's nature. Nature is Mother Nature, and she's a woman, and I have to defend women asserting themselves into the world. Sorry, that was rude. Well, I am a rude person a little bit. I'm not rude in some horrible, invasive, personal way like some people are who call my goddamn phone number. You know, but I am rude in the sense that, yeah, I'll say, you know, I'll say shit. You know, my brain makes it, and I produce it, and I don't necessarily like what comes out, but I don't like what comes out of my ass either. I don't like a lot of things. But there's just some of it, I don't know what the hell I can do about it. It apparently is sort of how I function.
This is like a super controversial topic. But
Super controversial. Well, yeah, and you just landed on the side of status quo bullshit response, right? You're talking about how, in the video she's explaining how no one's making a counter argument. I mean, no one's making an argument that's just compelling why a new child needs to be put in the game called Deserve. Has nothing to do with it, or very little. Deserve will have little, or perhaps nothing, to do with the fate of this being. And so, yes, no one's making a rational reason why we need to take new little babies and put them in that game board. And I'm saying to you, I don't think you're making a rational argument defending this status quo simplistic notion that somehow nature knows what it's doing. That the game it's built is somehow okay. No, it's pretty much rape all over the place. That's the game. I mean, the rape is even more. I mean, if rapists actually ate the women, consumed them digestively, you'd think even worse of them, wouldn't you? Yeah, maybe.
Just wanted to put that out there. I'm not going to get sterilized anytime soon, because I know that I might change my mind about this.
How do you know that? I mean, it seems incredible to me. I mean, once you realize that, okay, oh yes, there's thousands of years of absolute bullshit as an argument. The truth is evolution. I just pointed you to a video that describes evolution in the starkest, bloodiest, horrible terms. You call that 6 beautiful minutes. Why would you change your mind? Tinkerbell really does exist? You really think there's some hope in any of that shit? But anyway, I can, I'm not getting sterilized anytime soon because it's expensive, and who wants to fucking stick knives on their junk, right? So yeah, I mean, I understand not getting sterilized if you know how to do birth control and shit, but use that as an excuse. But don't say because I have some thing in my head that says, gee, I don't want to get sterilized because I'm going to change my mind. Based on what? Biological clock ticking thing? A woman thing? Maybe it's a woman thing. Okay. Well, then say that. I just don't trust my fickle, womanly nature. I mean, I knew what I was, you know, as soon as the question was posed to me, okay? I mean, I remember the images in my head. And so when I was first proposed to me that someday I'm going to be an adult and that I'm going to have kids, and I was like, what? You know, what am I going to, what is the function of me doing that? You know, and I was like, well, how do you get out of it? I was trying to figure out how, well, can you shoot the stork? I mean, you know, can you misdirect it somehow? Can you disguise your house so he can't find it? Can you do something to evade this thing? Because I really don't have any need to have a kid. I mean, I just, as a kid, I didn't have any use for kids. So I was just like, I found it horrifying, you know, as a sense of responsibility and all that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't want this job. And as I got older and understood what the responsibilities were, you know, they just got worse and worse and worse. And there was like no point. I could even cognize, you know, even from a personal perspective, how this works out for the best. You know, what could it possibly be besides a preposterous worry? A horrific, everything that happens to it is my fucking fault. How could I look at it any other way? I mean, I have to go out every now and then because the cat will lie down under one of the cars in the driveway and it makes me insane. But I know if I don't do it, then I'm going to feel guilty. I mean, I'm going to be responsible for the cat getting run over. So it's my job, because I feed the fucking thing, to make sure it doesn't do something stupid. And so it's just a nagging, irritating burden. That's all a child could possibly be to anybody who takes it at all seriously. How could you gain any pleasure when you know the knives and the swords and the daggers are all hanging all over that thing's destiny? Because you know how you just barely evaded disaster so many times. I mean, I just think of the times I've fallen where, you know, the stick was 2 inches away from my, you know, I fell just a little different, I would have been impaled. I got attacked by a pit bull once. Just missed ripping my face right the fuck off. I mean, full jaws on face. I was just goddamn lucky that I was an incredibly agile and quick reflexed person and evaded to getting destroyed by that piece of shit. Yeah, who wants, you know, so you just made a video describing that very thing. Like, holy fuck. You know, there's all these lotteries your kid's going to be entered in. All these negative, nasty, motherfucking lotteries. The tickets it's going to be holding. Complete disaster. And the other tickets are okay, like, okay, its first sexual experience goes okay. It doesn't become some kind of queer pervert. Sorry, no offense meant. But it doesn't get all fucking sexually weird and need to shove vacuum cleaners up its ass to get off or something. So, I mean, you know, this is, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's winning. Winning is, oh, I don't have to shove a vacuum cleaner hose up my ass, you know, to have a climax. That's called a winner on planet Earth. I mean, realistically, I mean, everybody's perverted as fuck. Everybody's screwed up. No, this wasn't the video I intended to make. But that's the very point you were making. For fuck's sake.
But, if I don't change my mind in the next 5 to 10 years, then I'm just gonna not have kids. And it's not a super big deal. I'm only one person, so if I'm wrong, it's not a huge big deal.
I'm only one person. It's not really a huge big deal. Well, I mean, even that argument, I mean, so you really think somebody's going to, so not only do you have this expectation that you might personally say, oh, I need to have a baby for some personal reason, you think there's actually going to be some logical, cognizable, describable reason why it's vital that you have a kid even if you don't want to, because it's necessary that kids exist and new humans exist. You think that argument's possible? I mean, again, you saw the video, all right? 4 billion years of evolution, 500 million years. Just think of it, 500 million years, not days, years of carnage. And you think there's something, boy, we need to keep doing that.
You know, I'll continue to speak about and promote antinatalism because honestly, I'm looking for someone to like destroy this argument. But I just haven't found anyone.
Yeah, well, you didn't really make one argument, so, you know, but you didn't, somebody, they can't destroy the arguments because there's a whole bunch of arguments. So they're in really big trouble. But what they can't do is make one reasoned argument defending how it's in the interest of consciousness to exist. How there's some way this works out profitably, when we know it's like the Olympics. You know, for all this glory of having one person or 3 people at the end holding up, well, I mean, the bronze medal guy's got to feel a little bit like a loser, right? I mean, he's just sitting there saying, oh, fuck, bronze medal, fuck. I should have had the gold. You know what I mean? So silver and gold. Well, even the silver guy's probably also, you know, if he had expectations going in, you know, he might have thought he was going to get nothing, so he might just be like really happy he got something. But I'm just saying. But anyway, and just think of the people who all right, the other losers who made it to the Olympics, right? The 50 or 100 or 200 in the event. Then all the people who only made it to like the 3rd level of qualifying, and then the 2nd level of qualifying, and the 1st level, and then all the ones who had dreams of it as kids and wasted hours and hours. I mean, all those are losers. Hey, it's my house. Something made a noise, so I'm just assuming it's not an AIDS virus, but who knows. I haven't seen any rodents, but it's probably just because I put it balanced on something and it just fell off, so probably not a big deal. Anyway, I figured I might as well communicate in case it is something. I might as well just let it know. Hey, it's my house. Just in case. It might not know that. Yeah, I'm paranoid. Probably just heard something on the floor. Hey! Somebody under there? I don't know. Polar bears. Here they're moving south. Anyway, let's finish up here, yeah.
So I'll continue to like perpetuate an argument until I find someone who can convince me otherwise.
Super.
Right, so if you want to know more about antinatalism, I'm going to link to like a couple of interviews and stuff so you can learn more about it. If you want to make a more informed decision about...
Anyway, yeah, so it's not really an amendum video, which is, you know, it's on some other guy's channel, so, but anyway, it's okay. Doesn't really matter. But she did have Irina in here, which is really nice, because, yeah, I was just watching a few Irina videos, and, oh, it's so charming. I wish she would make more videos. Yeah. Well, you know, mostly I don't know. It's that, you know, it's painful. Women are, you know, yeah, it's painful, women. yeah, sorry. It's nothing personal, women. I'm just saying it's pain. Wanting is painful. Mostly. Anyway, it's not even that wanting. It's just that beauty thing. It just, yeah, beauty is, ow, somehow. Something like that. Anyway, so I guess that's it for this video. Yeah, that's it. So I was, it was a little bit obnoxious, but it wasn't terribly harsh, was it? Most of my videos are not terribly harsh. So, I don't look. I don't care. People want to give me this reputation. It's okay. I'm just saying it's just bullshit. I mean, my whole life it's just been these stupid labels. And it's stupid. I mean, I was labeled a drug dealer when I was a kid, right? And I never, ever, ever sold a drug for a profit. So I wasn't a dealer. I was like drug Santa Claus. And most of the times, most of the drugs I gave away, well, yeah, you gave it to your friends and chicks, you know. So, I mean, yeah. I wasn't a dealer. It wasn't a business. But anyway, but that's, you just get the label. And fuck you people. Yes, I gave away drugs, but, I didn't sell them. Well, I sold them for, cost. I distributed at cost. I was a socialist. Well, I was horny, mostly. And, friends are helpful, so, yeah, if you, keep your friends stoned, and then they'll hang around and take care of you now and then when you need them. Maybe, if you're lucky. It's kind of just the whole, like I said, even when you're trying not to be a crass piece of shit, it's just so, like I said the other day, right? I mean, it's even like love is just such a sick, horrid, people talk about it like it's a wonderful thing. It's a horrible thing. It's such a possessive emotion. It's just so obnoxiously rapey. It's like, it's more of a rape in a sense than rape. The rapist has a better intent than the lie that is love, because it is such a dependency and such a yuck. Yeah, insidious. Because it is so selfish. I'm just sorry. I mean, when I really analyze it, it's a selfish emotion. Respect is a nice word. You got to do something about. You got to say something about respect. Respect is a good thing. Acknowledging. These are good things. Loving. Yeah. So the last thing you want to do is love or be loved. Yeah, and that's another commentary thrown in for free. Anyway, trying the other camera. I don't know if the volume's any better on this one, but what the hell. It's got the right lens on it, so. And if not, we'll try an alternative and such. Anyway, till next time.